Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Hey everybody, all this week we've been paying homage to the Negro Leagues in our conversation with Anthony Williams from the Negro Southern League Museum down in Birmingham. In our final installment, we'll talk about baseball from the post-integration to present-day era.
A lot of the biggest talent began to be siphoned off of the Negro Leagues, and it became truly a feeder league or a minor league, and just a team that was a league that was still competitive, but at the same time, you know, some of the bigger names, they had already moved on. And so it was great for them, it's great for the country, it's great for the players, but at the same time, that legacy of the Negro League started to decline.
Are you satisfied as far as like what you're now seeing with MLB?
Yeah, I think it's important that, you know, change is not always easy, but now that the MLB is finally recognizing Negro League statistics, Negro League players, I think those players are finally getting the recognition that they were always due. And I think that a lot of these players that we see, Frank Thomas and Reggie Jackson, you know, they couldn't have been in those positions without those forebears, without those pioneers who just played for the love of the game.
We know that the Negro League had some of the best athletes, but there was a guy named Vincent Bo Jackson, who's by far one of the best and greatest athletes, not only in the state, but across the board.
Yes.
How well do you think he could have done in the Negro Leagues against the talented folks that some folks don't talk about?
I think Bo Jackson definitely would have been on the level of like a Josh Gibson. I think one of the Negro League players said that they've only heard the sound of the bat crack the way it did when they heard Josh Gibson hit it and when they heard Bo Jackson hit it, and then I think maybe when they heard Babe Ruth hit it. And there was a certain type of athlete, I think, that's from this area that's just naturally gifted. I think even Willie Mays was like that. I think if you hear the stories of Willie Mays being told, baseball was his third best sport. And you know, he just happened to be naturally good at it. He got identified early as a great baseball player, but he was just as gifted in football, just as gifted in basketball. And so I think you know, people like Bo Jackson are just special, and it's just special that they happen to be from this area. And yeah, he definitely would have been on that level of I think a Babe Ruth or a Josh Gibson, especially if he had played a little longer. You know, I think in the major leagues.